Plaintiff Tracy Rogers says the defendant is her son, and she did the best she could to make sure he got an education. Tracy claims she bought the defendant a keyboard, a foot pedal, and an Apple Watch, but he has failed to repay her, so she's suing. Defendant Isaiah Rogers says the plaintiff was unstable when he was a child, and she didn't have enough money to give him the things he needed. Isaiah insists he never agreed to repay his mother for anything.
Start with you.
I'm suing my son. He wanted me to get him a keyboard. I bought him a keyboard, and after that, he needed a foot pedal for the keyboard. He's a musician. And so I went on and did that for him because he's a musician. And he asked me for an Apple Watch. I bought him an Apple Watch. None of these have been paid back. He told me he would pay.
I didn't hear you say it was a loan.
Well, they were loans.
He agreed?
He agreed to pay me back.
Before?
Yeah,
Before
when
you
I
purchased them?
Yeah, because he told me he would pay me back. That's why I purchased the item.
Okay. When did he say he would repay you?
He said he would.
When did you get him for him?
Around December, I got the foot pedal, but I got the keyboard before the foot pedal around.
December of 18, and got it for him. Then when was he to begin repaying?
His birthday, which is February.
All right, and has he paid you anything since
Nothing.
then? All right, when you've asked him, what has he said?
He doesn't have a job, or when he gets a job, he's gonna pay me back, or you know.
Did he have a job when you loaned him the money?
No, that's when.
So how did you think he would be able to pay you back in February if he didn't have a job?
Because he's a musician, he plays for churches, he does make money.
Then he does have a job. All right, that's a job.
That's a job.
Go ahead. Let me hear from you, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. Now, you know, me and my mom have a good relationship. You know, when I had turned 9, I kind of moved away from my mama due to she was kind of, you know, things wasn't working out right.
Wasn't working out for who?
Wasn't working out for both of us. You know, I was growing up probably about 8. She was kind of, you know, unstably in her finances, just, you know, trying to get things together. So I moved away with my family for some time. I came back
from your family?
Yes, from my family.
Where'd you move with?
I moved to Atlanta.
Who'd you live with?
I live with my auntie.
Okay.
I live with my uncle in Louisiana.
Because your mother couldn't afford?
Just because I was a burden
poor?
on, yeah, just not that she was poor, just as...
She wasn't poor?
No, she wasn't poor. It just as me and as growing up and she didn't really have a backbone, you know, dealing with me.
Backbone for what?
Like supporting me, giving me things that I need.
Like what?
Like in school, like clothes-wise, shoes.
She had the money and just wouldn't get it.
Nah, she had bills to pay.
She couldn't afford to get you the things?
Mm-hmm.
That means she's poor, sir. If you can't afford clothes on your back, that means you're poor.
Yes, sir.
So you moved because your mother was poor?
Yes.
All right. Did your aunt get you clothes?
Yeah.
Well, why'd you move from her? Your aunt. Because remember, you moved from your aunt, too.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Well, I wanted to be back with my mom.
She had clothes for you by then?
No, I already had.
Plaintiff Tracy Rogers is suing her son, who claims Tracy was unstable when he was a child.
Go ahead. So you moved away.
I moved away. Okay, I moved away. I got the clothes, so I moved back. So now,
That's right.
So now I'm ready to start school. So now that I got the clothes,
I wish you'd have told me that 50 years earlier, because my mother didn't have any money either, and I had to take some hand-me-downs from my big brothers. I wish I'd have known. I could just move out, go with my aunt, get some clothes, and come on back.
Come on back. Yeah. So when I did move back, due to the fact that I did have clothes, I was acting up in school because I didn't have a father figure in my life.
Because what?
I didn't have a father figure in my life, so you know it kind of led to some things. I moved with my dad when I was like 15 to Houston. I moved with my father. I moved back when I was 17 due to I wasn't going to graduate in Houston.
Why?
They schools, the way they have their schools set up, people that I went to school with ain't graduate. Some people I know right now
What was it set up like that kept people from graduating? No one graduated?
The way they had their STAR test set up, they wasn't helping the students as much.
Did anyone graduate?
Not really. That's why I moved back to graduate my mom.
Let me hear from you what you're suing him for. Nobody graduated. Go ahead.
My son did move back home.
School's still open, but nobody graduates. Go ahead, ma'am.
So he did move back home, like he said.
Sounds like you did a good job in making sure that you did your part, and that is provide for him. You just didn't buy the right clothes. He wanted Gucci.
Right.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Well, when he did come home, I got him into an all-boy charter school, which he did graduate from, made sure he graduated. And after he graduated, he decided he wanted to go back down to Texas. So that's where he went.
So it sounds like you did a better job than his father.
I did the best I can.
Who he said he needed a father in his life or a man in his life, and that man messed him up. According to him, he said the man put him in a situation where he could not graduate. That man put him in a school where nobody graduated. All right, and then he came back and you put him in a school where people graduate.
Yes.
And he did graduate.
And he graduated,
All
yes.
right, now how do we get to the loans? You did tell him that he was to pay, and he says what? What did you tell her when she asked you to pay for these things? Or did she ask before she bought them for you that you repay her?
I didn't repay her.
I said, did she ask you whether you would agree to?
She asked me to repay her at a point in time, but I didn't have it like that.
Okay, that's your only defense, you didn't have it?
I didn't have it.
Okay, that's not a legal defense. All right. Did you go any further than the high school?
Oh, nah. I just stick with my... I was thinking about getting into barber college, but due to I don't have a backbone in Houston, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to work some things, but I'm trying to get in barber college.
Okay, you play at churches though, right? Yes. So you have a talent. Mm-hmm. All right, well, pursue that. That's a good talent. Yep. Don't you all make like $500 a Sunday? The folks I know who play for churches, you don't want to tell it because you know you're making money to pay your money. That's what they make, ma'am. So you do have a skill and you do have a job. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. You got all these excuses not to pay your mother. Come to find out you got a talent that you're using and you're making money off of. Pay your mother her money, $1,500. Does you for the play.